At least 20 people were arrested in this scuffle. Hundreds of protesters clashed with pro-Trump supporters. They smashed windows of a police car. Several people waved Mexican-American flags. They blocked the traffic, chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." Joining me right now, Fox News Latino contributor Rick Sanchez, along with the Republican strategist Boris Epshteyn. Good to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey,
Rick,
good morning.
your observations from last night.
I don't disagree in one small way with how those people in Los Angeles feel. I disagree completely with the way that they comported themselves. If you're a Hispanic or a Latino in America, like I do, you still have to feel offended by what Donald Trump has represented every time he sits there and stands up in front of so-called white people and essentially continues his rhetoric. That is that we got to get rid of these people coming over the border. And Hispanics, Latinos who cross the border tend to be rapists and criminals. Anytime that you make that kind of statement about people, you can expect that they're going to be angry. Does that give them the right to act like idiots, as some of these people apparently did in this riot yesterday, or in this disturbance? It wasn't a riot.
Right.
Absolutely not. But yeah, I can't stand this man for what he said. As a Hispanic in the United States, he stands against every fiber in my being.
Right.
He's insulted my father and my mother and my grandparents, and he's insulted the name of and what Hispanics represent in the United States.
Yeah.
That's a fact, and we can't get away from it, and it's too bad there's not more Rick Sanchez's on TV and on cable news to be able to say this instead of all the apologists for Donald Trump who keep saying, well, that's not really what he meant. No, that's what he meant because that's what he said.
And isn't this the sentiment, Boris Epshteyn, that is the big concern for Donald Trump? He cannot get the vote of a Rick Sanchez. He is not resonating with a number of groups, and isn't that the issue that the Republicans are worried about? That he needs this Hispanic vote, he needs also the woman vote?
Well, if you look at the numbers, that's not the case. Trump's doing very well
with Hispanics,
with white male voters, doing much better with female voters, and he will do fine with Hispanics. Did well with Hispanics in Nevada. Now, to Rick's point, he's saying he disagrees with the protesters.
He did not do well with Hispanics in Nevada.
I'll let you talk your nonsense. Now let me talk. So Rick went on there and talked about how he disagrees with the way the people acted, but then went to incite that same violence by saying that Trump insulted his father. Nobody insulted Rick's father. All Trump said is he doesn't want people coming over the border illegally. He doesn't want illegal immigration to continue. What is wrong?
He said they're rapists and criminals.
Illegal immigration. And if you look at what happened last night, these are the exact kind of riots that we don't want happening in America.
But this is happening because of what Rick is talking about.
Or it's happening because of the way these people choose to act. Riots have happened in rallies long before Donald Trump. So these people are choosing to comport themselves in that way, and they're doing it because they're protesting what? Donald Trump not wanting illegal immigration.
But it's personal for Rick Sanchez. It's personal.
Well, Rick Sanchez could not vote for Donald Trump then. That's up to him.
But negative feelings.
Neither can 92%. But neither. Look, let's look at he's lying, and that's great. He could cite one poll in Nevada that measured 25 Republican Hispanics.
In the election, he did get Hispanics. He got Hispanics in Nevada.
87 to 90% of Hispanics in every single poll that has been taken have been saying they would never vote for this man.
That's why Trump did so badly in Florida,
let's stop
right?
pretending
that Florida's a state with a lot of Hispanics. Trump crushed in Florida, Rick. And he will do so in the general
We're talking about a general election, and we're talking about Hispanics. We're not talking about one particular race in one place or the other.
The fact of the matter is,
he doesn't have the numbers to be able to pull off a general election win, especially with this sentiment that's being felt, like Maria said, not only by Hispanics, but by others. In fact, the latest measures I've seen of Asians, Hispanics, women, Muslims in the United States, they all say, we can never vote for this man. Listen, with all due respect, he brought it on himself.
May I be clear about something? I don't care how much anybody dislikes what Donald Trump has said or how much anybody dislikes the man himself. That violence is not justified. Period. There were people who were bloodied, pulled a Trump supporter. There was a Trump supporter pulled out of a car whose face was bloody. There was property that was damaged.
That's right.
If you want to do something about Donald Trump's candidacy, then go out and vote, and you can rally peacefully. This, not peaceful and stupid and dangerous.
This is the same thing as when Black Lives Matter shut down traffic in New York to try to get people to be sympathetic for them.
No.
Work.
But at least the Black Lives Matter protest, that was peaceful, and a lot of that has been organized. witnessed in New York City, because I lived at the epicenter of it. This is dangerous. This is violence. This is damaging people's property.
They had a Mexican-American flag. I mean, who's behind this?
So, and it's damaging public property, damaging police cars. Police are here to protect us. We should be getting behind them, not having their cars be damaged. And listen, as far as the Trump people and Trump supporters go, Donald Trump has a stance on illegal immigration. That's a stance that's very similar to others in the Republican Party. Others have flip-flopped on it. Trump has not. But now everybody has gotten behind the same stance that Trump has.
Yeah,
that we need to stop illegal immigration. Why is he at the epicenter of all these attacks? There's no reason behind it.
There's nobody here. I'm Hispanic. I'm against illegal immigration. I'm for securing our borders.
So what's the problem?
I'm for trying to create some sense.
So then what's
but
the
that
issue,
doesn't give me the right. But that doesn't give me the right to say that everybody coming over the border is a rapist and a criminal. Do you not understand the difference?
Did you not listen to this? To the actual
no, that's
comments?
not what he said. No, you're right. He said there are a few of them that are okay.
You're generalizing, Rick, and it's a dangerous thing to do, and it's inciting the kind of violence you saw in California.
I'm quoting the man directly. Those are his words.
Everyone coming over the border is a rapist. Those are direct words. Check the record.
That's what he said. Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Incorrect.
Okay, so tell me what he said. What did he say?
He said that a lot of people who are coming over illegally are committing those crimes. Is that incorrect? Go ahead and prove it.
No, that's not what he said.
He definitely didn't say all Hispanics. He's talking about illegal immigrants. I'm a legal immigrant. My family came here when I was 11. I do not sympathize with illegal immigrants. We went through the process, followed the law. Right. Other people should have to as well.
And there are immigrants in this country who feel, you know what, I came here and I did it legally. I want to make sure others do it legally as well. So even if they are Hispanic, there is that sentiment, Rick, that, you know what, there's a problem here, and because I did it right, I want to make sure it's done right by others. And legally.
Yes, there's a problem because American corporations go to Mexico and recruit these people, and they bring them here, and then the U.S. government gives them a tax ID number so that they can work in the United States.
So what's your immigration proposal? What do you think should happen,
broken.
Rick? If you disagree with Trump, you disagree with the Republicans, what do you think should happen in legal immigration?
Well, let me just start with this. You don't literally paint an entire group of people with a broad brush and say that they're rapists and criminals. Can we start there? Can we at least start there? Can I get you to admit that he probably? But no. This is really important to me as a Hispanic in the United States, because I know what happens to other people in this country when they say certain things.
That's exactly the reason that we have not had a solution on illegal immigration.
Can I finish?
Trump has a solution, and you don't like it.
Can I finish what I wanted to say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just as other people in this country are often castigated for criticizing certain groups, I want you, Boris, to tell me that you think perhaps Mr. Trump may have overstated or perhaps even been offensive when he used the words rapists and criminals when referring to people who are coming to the United States over the border.
I asked you a question that's actually important to America. How do you solve the illegal immigration problem? Now you want me to apologize for something? Just answer the question.
And the answer is not.
So you want me to give you a public policy statement?
But the answer is not this violence either.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's not name calling, but it's not this violence either. I mean, last night was horrendous. You know, they were knocking on windows, cracking police cars.
If anything, it furthered Donald Trump's statements because they were committing criminal acts. So one of the problems is by doing this type of behavior, it reinforces what he says and reinvigorates his voting base.
And people get justifiably upset when the random incidents of violence within a Trump rally, where that old man hit that young man in the face. People get rightfully upset about that. Then we need, again, it has to be symmetric outrage. Where's the outrage about all of this violence in the street in California?
You won't see it from the liberal media. You won't even see it from some of the mainstream media because they are so anti-Trump. Now, I will tell you, though, in Tuesday's election in Indiana, this, just like Kevin said, plays into Trump's hand. Trump was already up by 8 points in the last poll. I will predict that he will win larger than that because partly of California, partly because of Cruz's huge missteps over the last week. But this is a terrible situation. And all I'm saying is, as Republicans and as Americans, instead of going out and saying that Donald Trump is doing these horrible things, let's come up with solutions. And let's listen to somebody who's the only candidate with a real solution.
Why would you do this in California? I mean, Trump isn't going to win California in a general election anyways, right? So having this type of behavior is further reinforcing in California.
Rick, do you think this is playing into Trump's hand?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The very first words out of my mouth when you asked me a question was that I think these people in this disturbance in L.A. were acting like morons and like idiots, and that they were absolutely wrong to do it. And then I followed it up with the fact that these people were angry because they were incited by a man who called them and their relatives rapists and criminals. And I know Boris doesn't hear it, and a lot of people don't hear it, and a lot of people don't appreciate what Latinos have done in the United States, even those who've come here as undocumented, because nobody's telling their story.
What I hear or don't, you have no idea what I do in my business dealings. I deal with people who are here legally. I don't deal with people who are here illegally. That doesn't mean that I disrespect Latinos. That means that I follow the law, and that's the right thing to do, Rick.
It's a healthy, rich conversation.
That's great. It sounds to me like you have no imperfections. Congratulations.
No, I have plenty.
We appreciate it, gentlemen. Thanks very much. We'll leave it there. Rick Sanchez, good to see you, sir. Boris Epshteyn, always a pleasure. We appreciate your time this morning, gentlemen. Straight ahead, outrage over new government.